Myths and facts about quitting smoking. You know, there are ridiculous amounts of health benefits associated with quitting smoking, but there are also a ton of misconceptions when it comes to actually quitting the habit. So, if you or someone you know is hung up on one of these totally false beliefs, allow us to debunk some of the myths so you can say goodbye to cigarettes for good. Myth: you should turn to e-cigarettes. Electronic cigarettes or e-cigarettes are more commonly called e-cigs, vapor pens or hookah pens. Using an e-cigarette is referred to as vaping. Vaping recently became popular as a supposedly healthy alternative to smoking tobacco cigarettes. The use of e-cigarettes also carry many risks. Much like the tobacco cigarette, an electronic cigarette fluid cartridge contains a cocktail of different chemicals. The typical ingredients include propylene glycol or vegetable glycerine, nicotine and flavouring. Intake of these chemicals is risky. Propylene glycol has been linked to soft tissue like lungs, throat and eye irritation, and vegetable glycerine can cause organ damage. Secondly, a new study by the University of California in San Francisco found that e-cigarettes are not as effective in helping smokers quit as you might think. The review of 82 studies looked at the impact e-cigarettes had on users and discovered that people who smoked the electronic cigs were actually less likely to quit smoking than people who never used them. Myth: you will gain weight. There is actually increasing evidence that smoking causes a greater accumulation of visceral fat, the toxic type of fatty tissues that surrounds the intestine, and is a serious health threat. The more a person smokes, the more likely they are to store fat in their abdomen, on their bellies, rather than on the hips and thighs. Quitting smoking and upping aerobic activity and strength training can help shed this type of fat and gain muscle mass. Myth: hookah is a healthier alternative to cigarettes. You might think that hitting up a hookah bar is a healthier alternative to getting a little buzz via cigarettes, but you would be wrong. A report by the Centre for Disease Control and Prevention found that smoking hookah is at least as toxic as smoking cigarettes, and a more recent study by the University of California at San Francisco found that one night of smoking hookah significantly increases your exposure to cancer-causing carcinogens. Myth: quitting after years of smoking won't improve your health. Even if you've smoked your whole life, it's worth it to stop. If you quit at any age, you will improve your health and quality of life. In fact, after just 1 year without cigarettes, a person can reduce their risk of heart disease by half, and the benefits don't even take that long to kick in. 20 minutes after quitting, your heart rate and blood pressure drop. And just 12 hours after your last cigarette, the levels of carbon monoxide in your bloodstream normalise. 2 to 3 months after quitting, you can look forward to your lung function and circulation improving. And after 5 to 15 years, your odds of having a stroke will match a non-smoker's. Myth: cutting down your cigarettes reduces the harm from smoking. Cutting down your cigarette intake or changing to milder cigarettes does not improve your health and does not significantly reduce your risk of dying from a smoke-related disease. The reason is that smokers subconsciously adjust their smoking when they cut down or smoke weaker cigarettes. When you smoke fewer or weaker cigarettes, you smoke each cigarette more intensely to extract more nicotine and keep your nicotine level in the comfort zone. You take more puffs and deeper puffs from each cigarette to compensate for the reduced number or weaker cigarettes. Myth: you won't be able to deal with stress without smoking. Although a lot of people smoke when they're stressed out, studies have shown that non-smokers are less anxious than smokers, and smokers who quit are less anxious than current ones. The truth is, when people are used to coping with stress by smoking, they might feel more anxious when they quit, because they're not sure how to deal with their stress levels. But get this, since nicotine is a stimulant, there's really no stress-reducing benefits that come with smoking. What might actually be de-stressing a smoker during a smoke break is simply getting away from their desk or a stressful situation and taking time to clear their head, which you can totally do without smoking. Do like, comment and share this video to reach out to smokers who are under these common myths. For more myths and facts, subscribe to our channel.